We've got two very, very good back-to-back sessions. My name is Darryl Judd. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for a company called Logistics Executive Group, and I'm a director of the parent company EGI, which we own about 19 companies in the group. And as I've just explained to colleagues up here, most of that is in the supply chain. And we touch a lot of those different elements in supply chain, and we touch the consumer end of it. Today's subject for this session, international cross-border challenges and innovation. And I have to admit, when I got given this briefing paper about 24 hours ago when I hopped on the flight from Qatar out here, I hadn't really done a lot of research. So one of my esteemed colleagues here in Hong Kong, Cassandra, who I think some of you know, had put this session together. But it kept coming back in my mind when I keep thinking of those words, challenges, cross-border. So I went to buy a wetsuit last week because I look like a surfer. I'm 46 years of age and I can't seem to get surfing out of my blood. And for those of you that surf, you will know what I mean. For those of you that grew up in New Zealand or Australia, you'll definitely know what I mean. So simple, I went to buy a wetsuit. Quite normal. You normally either go down to a shop, Rip Curl, Quicksilver, Billabong, whatever it is, and you try to buy a wetsuit. But I was in Dubai and I was flying to Singapore where I have an apartment and I spend a little bit of time there. I live in Australia in a house I haven't seen since September last year, in a car I haven't driven since September last year, and I don't know when I'm going to be back in Australia. That's the reality. It's certainly not in the next 3 months. I spend most of my time travelling between Dubai and Nairobi. It's just my Kenyan colleague and I were talking about at lunch, and I spend a lot of time on the road. So I thought, you know what, I'm the quintessential shopper in e-commerce. How easy is it? I'll get online, I will look for a Billabong I wasn't even fussy. Billabong, Quicksilver, Rip Curl, didn't really matter. But I need a wetsuit and I wanted a shorty. So for those of you who don't know what it is, it's one that doesn't have arms and legs. Easy. I found a ton of merchants that I could buy from. So I was quite excited. I thought, great, buy, credit card, done. Except when it came to the checkout process. And it said, I'm sorry, we don't ship to your country. So I thought, that's okay, no problem at all. They can ship it to Singapore, I'll pick it up on Monday when I'm there, all good. I'll carry it around with me until I can eventually find somewhere I can surf. So I changed the shipping address to Singapore. What do you know? They didn't ship to that country either. So not to be outdone, I thought, well, I'm going to Hong Kong, I'll address it to Cassandra and I'll pick it up from the office in Hong Kong and once again, I'll be happy. Don't ship to Hong Kong. So at that stage, I'm getting a bit frustrated. So I can't ship to Dubai. I can't ship to Singapore, I can't ship to Hong Kong, and I can't ship to Qatar, which is where I'll be next week. So I thought, well, that's okay. I'll see if I can go to Sydney. And I'll get my partner down there to ship it back to me. Yep, could do that. Then I thought about that. I thought, hang on a minute, when am I going to Sydney next? That's not going to work for me. So I ditched that merchant and I went to another merchant. In fact, I actually went to the Billabong website. So if there's anyone here from Billabong, I apologise. And I thought, great, Billabong, they've got an online store, perfect. But you know what? They don't sell the product in Asia that I want. And I can only buy from their Asia store if I want to ship to an Asian address. I can't ship from the US, but I could buy it from the Australian store and ship it to my Australian address, but they wouldn't ship it to Singapore. So I went to Rip Curl. Only to find that Rip Curl don't have an online presence. So then I went to Lazada. Anyone from Lazada here? Okay, great. Lazada, fantastic, but guess what? For Asia, you don't sell wetsuits from Rip Curl. So that didn't work for me either. This took me 3 days by that stage, after which I'm sitting in Doha Airport on Sunday night and I thought, how hard is this? It really is ridiculously hard. So I picked up the phone, and I called my brother who lives in Barbados. And for those of you that have been to Barbados, there's really not a lot to do there. You surf, you fish, and sometimes you work. And I said to my brother, I said, Brett, you got a supplier of wetsuits there? He said, yeah, what do you want? I said, just anyone, Rip Curl, Quicksilver, don't care. Yep, what size? Large, great. I'll go down and buy it for you. I'll post it to you in Dubai. I haven't got the goods yet. I don't know what they're going to cost me. I don't know when they'll arrive in Dubai, but I know that someone's bought them for me already and they're on their way. What I couldn't do was I couldn't do that transaction as a traditional, perfect e-commerce customer. Because somewhere along the line, that cross-border thing didn't work. Somewhere along the line, the innovation of disruptive technology, buy on your phone, buy on your tablet, do this, do that, didn't work.